record another live tarot reading for you guys. I started recording just a little bit ago, so I had gone through group 1 and group 2, but I hadn't gotten to group 3. If you're new to joining, welcome. I do offer private tarot readings for those of you who want to get a private reading. My website is OracleDaphne.com. I'm also accepting donations. If you'd like to send a donation through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, that would be awesome. Even if it's a small amount, I super appreciate it. And I'm also promoting, I have $30 Oracle card readings, which I've already pre-made through my Birds Fly Etsy shop. So those of you who want to get a, private reading, but you only want to spend a certain amount, less than $100, these are good options. And yeah, I am going to jump in. I kind of want to pull some extra cards. So what I want to do is I'm just going to jump in. This is in group 3 for my other live, but I had to stop the recording for a moment. So this is group 3, and I may pull a couple other ones here. So this is group 3 if you're watching, or if you're just watching this video, this would be like group 1 for you. And then group 2, and then group 3. So I'm just going to see what we get. I'm going to jump right in. If you want to ask a question in the live chat, it is $25 for one question. So you're more than welcome to send that through if you'd like. But please put it in the live chat first. Let's see. It doesn't look like anybody's in the live chat just yet. So yeah. So I'm just going to jump in and see what we get. The first card is this card here, the Awakening card, and I'm hearing that song by Evanescence. I can never say it right. It's that Wake Me Up Inside song. And I think she did like an interview a long time ago about what that was like, what that song was really about, I think, and why it was written. And it was about how, like, and I'm not getting it right. I probably am not getting it right. But what I took from it was like her experience where she had kind of become numb at a certain point in a relationship. And then when she got into, a loving partnership, she started to feel like she was, like she had been asleep for a long time. And I think some people like that come into our lives, that they come into our lives to do that. They come into our lives to bring us back to life, to bring us back to, give us a sense of, feeling good, or feeling loved, or feeling appreciated, or just having the support that you need in life, So it's very interesting that this card is showing up here. For some of you, it's applicable in that way, where it's like you may feel like if you're getting into a relationship, that relationship is sort of bringing you back to life in a certain way. Like maybe you felt like that you had been sleeping for a period of time, or maybe you had been in a relationship where there had been some problems, or like you had started to lose focus on the relationship, or lose focus on what was important, or focus on like yourself. A lot of people, when they get into relationships, they tend to feel lost. They lose themselves, especially if they have children. They lose themselves. They lose who they are. Sometimes they don't feel things the way they would normally. The longer I feel like relationships go on, the harder it is, I feel like, for people to know where they begin and end. Like they over-identify with their partner in some way sometimes. They over-identify with their children. So you may be going through a period of time where maybe you've been in a relationship for a very long time, and it's like, you no longer feel like yourself in some way. It's possible, you know, that could be it. Or you just may feel a little bit like emotionally or comfortably numb in some way. But to me, this is a time where that's shifting. That's shifting. And so whatever relationship you do get into in the future, you're going to feel like more yourself. That's what I want to say. More yourself. I just want to look to see what the book has to say. Yeah. Okay. So the book is talking about how the way things really worked for you before is no longer going to work. Like it's no longer going to, maybe certain things in your life are no longer doing it for you. Whatever that is. Maybe it's your diet, you know, maybe it's your habits, maybe it's your sleep routine, maybe it's your relationship. Whatever it is, whatever you've honored in the past as far as how to get your needs met or how to feel good, or there's something about it no longer working, whatever that way is, you know, something may not be working. And like you may have this moment in time where you're like, this is just not cutting it, or this is just not good enough, or this is just not X, whatever that's you'd finish that statement as, you know. And for some people, it's being, you know, the awakening is sometimes this moment of truth that you have with yourself. Like for me, I've had several, like in the last couple of weeks, where it's like there's been some moments where I just feel like I broke through my previous beliefs, you know, my previous notions of what, you know, of how to live life, basically. And it was like these epiphanies, these moments where I'm like, oh, okay, I get it now, you know. Hi, Princess. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it so much. Yeah, I'm not able to monetize my videos, so nobody's basically seeing my videos. If you are watching this, please give it a thumbs up. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment, and all that stuff. Especially the thumbs up really helps. Any comments, like once the video has posted, also helps. The comments in the chat like help, but I don't think that helps with the algorithms at all still. So yeah, and you know, any donations at this time are really appreciated. I want to say that. So well, that's sweet of you. I'm so glad that, you know, you're back to watch, you know, to see what I have to say. So I appreciate it a lot. Going back to this card, the aha moment may or may not be about a relationship. It could be just something to do with you. It could be just something where you're like, oh, I get it now. Or, oh, that is, you know, something that I didn't even think about. And it's like, oh, that makes so much sense now. It could also be where the pieces are falling into place. But it feels more like, to me, it feels like an authentic truth. Like there is some truth that you're coming up against, and you're like going, like you might have this breakthrough moment where you're like, oh, that's for real how it is. I don't know. I can't really articulate the feeling, but you'll know it when you have it. Let's just put it that way. I want to pull some other cards for this group. To me, this group is all about rest and rejuvenation. Like, it really is about, maybe for some of you, taking a time out, you know, readjusting your sleep patterns. For some of you, it's feeling like more, like less stressed and moving out of a time of stress. I do feel like for some of you, you're lonely or you're looking for love or you're wanting love in your life. I do see that. I see this King of Wands showing up here. That may be you, that may be someone you're interested in coming in. And I feel like whoever this person is, I feel like they're bringing in like some stress relief, or they're just kind of like, there for you. I feel like that's what I want to say. They're kind of just like a light for you. You might also have feelings for this King of Wands too, whoever this is, because we've got the Ace of Cups, and the Ace of Cups is the drop of promise. It's that one drop of rain on your nose when it's about to rain, and more is coming. And so for some of you, this is having a lot of feelings, or having a lot of feelings for someone. And whoever this is, I feel like they're going to make you happy, or I feel like you make them happy, or something. It's too, because you have the Sun card here also. So anytime like we have this like strong fire energy with the Sun energy, there's this combination of, I always say it's a chance for it to go supernova. Anytime two cards like that show up, it's a supernova moment. So something, to me, it's going to be expanded. It's like an expansion. It's like, again, even if it's in combination with the Ace of Cups, I feel like something's expanded. Where maybe you take a relationship to the next level. Someone asks you to marry them. Someone says, okay, I want you to, I don't know. I can't think of it right now, but whatever those steps are in a relationship, you'd have, whatever those steps would be. Yeah, wherever step you're at. Like, so for some people, you're just dating and maybe you're like going to move in with someone. And for some of you, you've already moved in with someone, but maybe you're planning on starting a family, or whatever that step is. And some of you, like maybe you've already started a family, but you're planning on getting married, or like, again, those are the steps. Okay. So, but it's an expansion. It's like something getting bigger. And I don't know. For some of you, you need to watch out, because there is something about a fight getting bigger, like an expansion of a fight getting bigger. So you need to watch out. Like those of you who have situations where you could have a relationship with someone where it starts off like in just a normal argument, but then it gets bigger. The screaming gets louder, or the thing, whatever it is that happens, to me, it's just like, it becomes larger than it normally would. It could be someone making a mountain out of a molehill too. Like, that's how I feel. I actually don't feel like, for most of you, this is like a serious argument, although it could be, because it's modified by the Sun energy. And to me, it's almost like, this is how it feels to me. It's almost like you're so, I want to say happy, or you're just going about living your life and you're in a very joyful zone or mood, and then you might get into a fight with someone, or someone picks a fight with you and tries to make a mountain out of a molehill, but you don't care. Like, you're just like, it's not going to matter at the end of the day. Like it's almost like someone tries to come at you and you're just like, I don't care, I really, it's whoever this is, this is going to be funny, because whoever it is, like, who's like trying to make a mountain out of a molehill with you, I kind of feel sorry for them. I hate to say this, but like, kind of feel like whoever they are, they're not going to understand. It's almost like, and it might piss them off, because you might actually, like, I see someone smiling at whoever it is that's trying to start some shit, and it's just going to irritate them because they're not able to get whatever it is that they wanted from it. So I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm getting shown several things. I'm getting shown, like, I dated someone a long time ago who had this problem where they'd smile a lot. And then, like, so, like, nobody took them seriously because they smile a lot. So, so, like, even when, shit was hitting the fan, they'd still be smiling somehow. So I don't know, I'm seeing that, but I'm also seeing just, like, someone who just is, like, in a really good mood or, like, good emotional state, and then, like, someone comes along and tries to burst their bubble, and it's just like they're just not having it. And, like, I just don't see them having it at all. And it's funny to me. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I am. Do you want to check my chat here real quick? Let's see what we've got. Okay, just want to make sure. Sorry, my hair today is so frizzy. It's unbelievable. So I want to move on to group 2 for this one, or this would be actually group 4 for my recordings for today for YouTube. Let me just put these cards away. I did want to say there's a lot of career stuff going on with this first group that I was reading for in this recording. So there's a lot of career stuff. It's kind of a mixed bag. It does feel for some of you you're overburdened by bills and stuff and just, like, work, maybe working too much. Some of you just have a lot on your plate. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. So we've got this 88 Balanced Relationships card for this next group. And to me, this is also, okay, so there's 2 ways that this could go. This can indicate, like, a best friend or someone that's really supportive of you showing up for you. Those of you, like, who, maybe meet people. This could be developing a new friendship if you don't already have, like, a best friend. This, to me, doesn't have to be girl, guy. It can be girl, guy as far as friendships. But there's also the other part of this card, which talks about a long-term relationship that's really healthy. So some of you are on track for that. Okay. It is balance. It's a healthy balance of give and take in relationships. So that's what the card's about. And the thing is like, we always strive for that, I think, in life, is to find balance, but we don't always have the balance, especially those of you who have strong Libra in your chart. Libra is always, like, in some way, my guide is showing me this and I don't know why. So, like, I think of the Libra and I think that they're always striving for some kind of balance, but it's almost like either they're overly balanced and they need to shake things up more, or they're, like, underbalanced and everything has gone to shit and they can't see it and they have no idea how to get out of it and they don't know how to break up and they don't know how to stop and they don't know how to, like, leave, and they just stay in an unhealthy or toxic situation where there's nothing between them anymore with a partner, or they get married for no reason. Like, to me, when Libras are really unbalanced, they're, like, off the scale unbalanced. Like, I can't even explain to you some Libras that I've known, even family members that have been Libras, one of which has passed away, and that Libra, would go off the deep end. And so, like, this is where like, I don't know where you're gonna fall into what category here, or where on the scale you're gonna fall. Like, there is something about the scales being tipped, because we have the Tower as the foundation, and we have the Hierophant as the crown. Okay, so together, these two, to me, it's like, okay, for some people, this is an argument that leads to some kind of disbalance within a marriage or a partnership, because we also have the Lovers. So, like, this is the scale's getting tipped as far as like, I don't know, like uprootment or like a relationship that isn't, I don't know, it's instant uprootment and it's a that maybe that isn't working for some of you. It's weird because like the Hierophant has the tree and the roots. And so for the tower to be underneath it, to me there's something about an uprootment, something about a changing of the guard, because to me like the changing of the guard is like the changing of the old ways, you know. We have the Two of Swords, and that is also in the position of emotions, and that's irreconcilable differences, like, you know, but it's also like not being on the same page as a person, you know, disagreeing, not being able to resolve it, having some kind of no contact or needing no contact or going into a no contact situation. Where this is going is sort of leading you into like what I would call like a time of transition, where some decisions are going to be getting made, and maybe even between two partners too, because we have the Lovers and we have the Two of Cups. So this is where maybe some decisions are made, you know, or this is where you go where you go to live with a friend, or this is where you make a decision about what it is you want in relationships. And to me, it's very clear. This group is more clear than the other groups what's really happening. And it feels like it feels just like, yeah, that where things are going is, you know, it's like that thing that has to happen. Like if you need to move out someplace, so you move, like before you move, you got to do all the kinds of stuff. You got to kind of make a mad dash to sort your stuff and clean your stuff, and then haul it away and then find another place. And it's just kind of chaotic a little bit. And you kind of go through this transition period. And that's kind of what I see here. Whether, and I don't feel like those of you who are listening in this group are going to be moving, although you might be moving your stuff in some regard or shuffling some stuff around. That's what I want to say. I don't know why I want to say that, but that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah. I'm going to move on to the last group and see what I get. Those of you who are watching, you're more than welcome to say hi in the chat. You don't have to, though. You don't have to be shy, though. If you do have a question, this would be the time to ask it, because I'm not going to be on here too much longer, and this is, I think, the only one that I'm going to do on YouTube today. You're more than welcome to send a payment through Venmo. You can also book a reading with me. I also am offering email readings. I keep forgetting to say that, but I'm offering email readings at this time, and I love email readings. My email readings are like 9 pages long, okay? So, like, it's a lot of work, but it's only $75 for an email reading, so you're more than welcome to reach out for one of those, or book one of those. I can complete them usually within 2 days, 2 to 3 days. Okay, so the next card, the last one, is this card in my health deck. Okay. And in my health deck, this card is about in some way to me it talks about financial issues, actually. And like health like someone who's, like, let's just say, overly focused on their finances, not focused enough on their health. That's the issue with this card typically. I've seen this card also show up where there's like unhealthy bad habits or unhealthy behaviors, where there's sneaking around or sleeping around, cheating sometimes. Sometimes it's also about like what's called like the poverty conscious is handed down through like the older generation, where no matter how much money you have, it's never enough. And the focus is like overly, there's an over focus on money and bills and career and things like that. So I'm seeing that. Let me see if what else I get here. This would be group 5, just so you guys know, group 5. This is so strange because in the beginning of the reading that I did for the other YouTube video, I talked about, I think the first card that I pulled talked about coming to life. Or it was like the awakening or something. And the interesting thing is that in this group, I actually feel like I'm seeing like the words breath of life are actually like in my head, and I have that song about who sings it? Florence and the Machine. And I love that song. And it's just like there's something here about the breath of life again. Like, and I don't know what it is. Like, some of you may actually have someone who's on life support, in the hospital. Some of you may lose someone who was on life support or goes into the hospital and goes on life support. The hardest memory that I have, it's really difficult to even talk about, was my dad. Like, when he went into hospice, I called him every day and I talked to him every day, and I cherished those conversations, and it was so hard to talk to him, but I did it because I needed to talk to him, and I just cherished everything that we talked about during those times. And especially towards the end, and like, you never think that those conversations are going to be your last conversation. It's sort of like this strange non-continuation of life. And I was talking about to him, like, I was on the phone when he went into hospice and he was on oxygen. They put him on oxygen, and like, honestly, that was like the end of the conversation. And if the conversation was me hearing him breathing, and to me, that's like the hardest thing to hear, actually, is to hear someone breathing. Like, instead of talking, all you hear is them breathing. I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting shown this in this reading. It's very strange to me. Someone might be going on oxygen, and maybe like the last conversation you have with them, you can't talk to them anymore because they're on oxygen, and all you can hear is their breathing. There's something about how I think that, there's something about how we appreciate, life after we lose someone like that. And it's possible you could lose someone and have that moment where, just breathing and just, being alive is important, Oh, thanks, April. It's good to see you, April. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah, the thing is no one is seeing my videos, so because I'm not able to monetize my videos anymore. I mean, I have 1,100 videos, which is a lot of videos, and nobody's seeing them. So everybody, if you could, share, like, give me a thumbs up. That would really help. Make a comment after I'm done reading. Book a reading at this time. Thank you so much, April. I appreciate it so much. So I'm trying to see if there's any other messages that want to come through. It's so weird though that basically it's like almost like the same message from earlier. I think there's like an appreciation of life at this time, and I don't know what it is or why it's coming through right now, but it's choking me up a little bit. Like there's something about appreciating life at this time, and maybe it's the spring, and maybe it's someone that's watching is going to lose someone that they care about, and it's going to push them into this state of like focus. It's weird, like when my dad was on hospice, it was like everything in my life was like in super focus, like it was super hyper laser focused. um it's hard for me to even explain why. I think it's just that all the things that we think of as important aren't important, when you're going through that. And it's maybe for some of you, it might not even be where you lose someone. It just might be where you somehow have this moment where you realize what's really important. And it's not the house with the 3-car garage and all the toys. And it's not the swimming pool, and it's not the vacation, and it's not anything that you could possibly have. And the crazy thing is, some of the things that, this is so hard to talk about, some of the things that I appreciate so like more in my life actually are not the material things at all. It's like the last thing that my dad said. It's like that one thing. It's like I had this conversation a long time ago. I don't know if it was Christmas or New Year's Eve one year, and I was just sitting in my car, and it was snowing outside, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, and talking to this guy. This is several years ago, who I cared about so much. And it was like that conversation where I was just watching it snow, and I don't know, I was so tired, and I don't know if I was depressed, but I was just not in a great headspace. And I remember having that conversation with him, and that's super important to me that we had that conversation. And it means more to me having had those experiences, whatever, than any physical thing could. And it's so weird because I talk about physical things, but there may be some physical things that that you appreciate, like this dog that I loved. I still have, and I don't know why I saw it today. I was like going through my stuff today, and I came upon his tennis ball that he loved, and I kept it kind of like as I don't know, a memento of him. And it's just things like that. It's small stuff, I don't know if you would call them mementos, but things like that are important, that aren't, it's not what you would as super like important. So like not what most people think as important. I do also see an offer some way somehow coming through for some of you. I don't know what the offer is. It might be like an offer to go work someplace as a job. It could be an offer to go pick up a gig someplace. Cherish items and memories. Yeah, that's it, Alice. Yeah. Yeah, some of you may be going through some old stuff. Like you might lose someone, and you might be going through some stuff, literally, where there's collectibles, there's things that someone else collected. There may be like some kind of estate sale. To me, this is like very like there's a lot of heavy estate energy here. So it could be an estate sale, or through, like for some of you, like a parent's stuff, and maybe finding stuff that you didn't think you were gonna find. Yeah. For some of you, like I'm seeing a wallet. Like going through a wallet, maybe. And looking at pictures and like, so interesting, like what we carry around in our purse or in our wallet, things that we keep very close to us, things like that. I'm seeing that for someone. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I am. Um, I pulled another card just to see any like last messages that want to come through. And we pulled this lady card, which is funny because I'm always talking about how apple trees are like if you want prosperity, plant an apple tree. If you want to change your abundance and your money flow, plant an apple tree or get some frogs. One or the other. Frogs or the apple trees, one or the other, and you'll have more money. But the thing about this is about career and this is about prosperity, but it's also about growth. Like my guide said, growth. And during times of growth, it can be really hard on us physically, emotionally, mentally to kind of stay focused, to stay driven, to stay motivated, to stay like, upbeat and positive. So to me this is one of the best cards in this deck too, though. So some of you may be going through a period of growth which may be slightly more painful, and others you may actually see the rewards of things that you've planted before. So like let's just say hypothetically you have a garden, um, and your plants came up from last year, or you planted an apple tree several years before and now it's flowering in the springtime, but again it's metaphorical sometimes too, in the sense where this could be where you're reaping the rewards for things that maybe you started before. Maybe you applied to a job 6 months ago and you just get the job now. um, maybe you started something a while back, maybe it was a project, and maybe you finish it now, or maybe you finish it this spring, or the fall, because the apples are, in fall time. So for some of you, you're going to be seeing the rewards in the fall. And it might be a lot of money. There might be a lot of money coming in this fall for some of you, too. When I say rewards, it might be just where there's more prosperity to be had at that time. Some people like obsess about time, so I'm not gonna say like I don't want you to be like wait until the fall and be like, okay, where's the money? Oracle Daphne said the money's gonna be here, and it's not. It doesn't work that way. I'm just letting you guys know. It just doesn't. Oh, good for you, April. That's awesome. April says she started her own cleaning company. Yeah, the apple trees, are prosperity. The fairies love the apple trees, and basically, apple trees are a symbol of prosperity because there's just so many apples. And this apple that she's holding looks like a coin, right? It's round, but it's also a star. And some of you are star seeds, literally star seeds. But to me, she's showing. Okay, so I see what the message here is. She's showing the inside of the apple, which to me is about opening up to someone. Maybe showing someone your true colors. Maybe showing who you are in the world, showing up in the world in a very real way. Like showing what's inside of you, using your gifts. That's what I wanted to say. Like using your innate talents and gifts to do something in the world and showing up in the world. And that to me that always brings rewards. It brings rewards when you show up in the world in an authentic way and you utilize your talents and your gifts. That's just the bottom line. I'm gonna leave off here. Unless you guys have questions. If there's anyone who wants to ask a question, now is the last call for questions. Unless you wanted to do private reading, in which case, happy to do private reading. I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody asking any private reading for any private questions. So I'm gonna leave off there, guys. I am gonna jump over to Instagram. I have to double up. Just because, you know, there's different people over there, obviously. So you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm going to be over there, like, literally. I'm going to jump off here, shuffle my cards, and then go over there. But, you know, hey, Naomi. No, Naomi, did you have a question? If you wanted to send a payment through Venmo, I'm happy to answer your question right now in this live chat. Otherwise, I am going to pop over to Instagram to tell me. Doesn't look like Naomi has any questions. So I'm going to head over to Instagram, guys. It's the same thing over there, too. If you want to send $25 through Venmo for me to read over there, that's fine. If not, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for being awesome, dealing with my crying as per usual, and liking and sharing all my videos as always. So I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. All right, take care, guys. All the best. Bye, guys.